This Charizard finalizes my 151 Master Set, but is it worth grading? Today, not only are we going to look at the card, but we're also talking about the grade reveal. Here are the timestamps for your convenience if you want to skip to the relevant part, but we're going to start off with the actual value and whether it's actually worth grading. Let's talk about not wasting money first off. The card itself is worth $279 right now, and I bought it at $220. It costs about $25 to grade the card if we're going through TAGGrading or our local LGS. That's a really good price for the value of card we're going for. Usually I say pulling the card's free, but right now it's about $25 per pack to actually get the card, and if you bought it straight up, it's about $280. I was lucky enough to buy it at $220 for just the card, and the Tag 10 is 1.1, and the Tag 9 is a $291 card, and so if we're looking at this, whether you pull it or not, the Tag 10 and the Tag 9, I would say is probably worth it, to be honest, because it's a Charizard in the first place, so we're definitely going through with the next step. Now my favorite part that we're going to look at is the centering, which the first thing I like to do is scan the card and then go to the DegreeGrading website. On that website, you're able to upload your image. It is free to use, just some advertisements on there. And then you can align the inside and outer line of each border to determine the thickness of that. Now when we look at the Charizard, we can absolutely see that the centering is really good just off of like looking at it straight up. That's actually why I got this card. I found out at a card show, and if I'm going to finish my 151 with the most expensive card in it, I want to make sure it was actually a 10, potentially a 10, right? So this was like the only card I actually went for where I thought it might be a 10. We can see on the left and right, there's a 48, 52, and again, for centering, all you're gonna do is take the bigger number, subtract it from the smaller, so there's a 4% difference. And with PSA and Tag, they have the same front tolerance, which is 10%, in order to get Gem Mint 10. So looking at the left and right, we can see 4% difference, top and bottom, 2% difference, right? And so what we wanna do is be less than 10%, because that's the tolerance, which means that is the threshold that they'll allow before it goes down to like a 9. Now, with that being said, because both the measurements are less than 10%, which means either the left or right or the top and bottom, if either one exceeds that 10%, we're not going to get Gem Mint 10. But because they both meet less than that, we're possibly a Gem Mint 10 on the front centering. So let's go ahead and flip this card in the back and take a look there. Now, scanning the back and looking at that, we can see that we have to be within a 50% tolerance for PSA. We also have to be a 30% tolerance for Tag. So Tag is a little bit more strict than PSA. Basically, you can have any kind of centering you want on the backup for PSA and it's still considered a Gem Mint 10. But with Tag, you have to have less than 30%. Now, as we're looking here, we can see the top and bottom has a 52-48, so 4% difference. And then the left and right has a 55-45, which means that there's a 10% difference. That 10% difference is the worst number between the top and bottom and left and right. So we're gonna say, is the 10% a larger number than 30% for TAGGrading, because that's what we're going through? And the answer to that is no, obviously. 10% is less than 30%, meaning we have a Gem Mint front, a Gem Mint back, meaning that the centering for this card is potentially a Gem Mint 10. Now the next step is we're going to check out the surface, so let's go and do that. I'm gonna tell you right now, for the surface of this card, it's spectacular. When I was looking at it, it was at a vendor show. I looked for weeks on this. I'm sorry about the autofocus box you can see with the black light, but what we're looking at here on the surface is anything that's gonna pop out for silvering, whitening. We don't see anything. I've never had a surface that was this clean. So we're gonna move on to the corners and edges now. Now, as we look at the corners and edges, we're kind of looking at the same way the surface is, right? We're looking only at the edges and corners. We're looking from the top and kind of working our way around. I even use a black light to highlight any sort of whitening that might appear. I didn't see anything. Like, there's nothing on here, which makes this video so easy to make because there's nothing for me to talk about. I did call out that the centering on this left side is a little bit heavier, so I'm concerned about it. But as we saw a little bit ago, it's perfectly fine. Let's go ahead and move on to my predicted grade. So this is incredibly exciting for me because this is literally the first card I was hunting for to get a Gem Mint 10. Every other card, I purposely got ones with flaws on because this channel is about estimating the grade, right? I wanted to educate what a 7 looks like, what an 8 looks like, a 9, etc. And this one, I was like, it's actually not hard to find it's hard to find a Gem Mint 10. It's not hard to identify a Gem Mint 10 because they look so good that you don't even like really question anything. So even if this is a 10, it's easier to find because you're looking for a flawless card. It's still, some people get confused on how much of an issue can you have before it goes down to a 9. So this is really educational. In my opinion, based on everything I looked at, I didn't see anything wrong with the card. So my overall predicted score here is a Gem Mint 10. So I did get the card back, which you can't see on screen right now. I'm just admiring it right now because I think Tag is absolutely amazing in the way they do their slabs. So let's take a quick look at the card. And here's the beautiful card. We're just kind of looking at, admiring it. But take 3 seconds to think about what grade do you think this card would get? And it comes back as a gem mint 10, which is what we predicted. And I'm so happy about this. This is the most expensive card I've ever got. So I'm putting it in a slab mag and a phantom display case to protect the sucker. Now, as you can see, I'm really proud of this card. I spent way too much money protecting it, but it's my first 10. It's my big 151 card. So unfortunately, my binder is going to remain empty in that one slot. But this gem is going to sit on my counter right in front of me every single day so I can admire it. But did you predict a gem mint 10? Let me know down in the comments below. And if you didn't, if you got a different grade, tell me why you think so. But thank you so much for watching this episode. If you want to see the next episode coming out, it'll be on Monday next week. Until next time, keep guessing that grade.